In a hidden village deep inside a dark forest, there lived 4 sisters. They were not normal girls. They were witches, born from the most powerful bloodline in the world. Each one had control over one element. Serena, the eldest, controlled fire. Her hair was like burning flames, and her temper was just as hot. Lyra, the second sister, ruled over water. Calm, mysterious, and beautiful, she could drown you with a single touch. Iris, the third, belonged to the earth. Quiet and strong, she could move trees and shake the ground. Arya, the youngest, commanded the air. Light as wind, playful yet dangerous like a storm. They were born on the same day, exactly 1 minute apart, and raised in the shadows by their parents, 2 ancient and powerful witches. They taught the girls to master their powers but also told them of a terrible rule in their bloodline. When you turn 22, their mother once said, the ritual of merging must be performed. Only one of you will survive. The strongest will inherit the powers of the others, and become the heir of the elements. The sisters were shocked. They had grown up together, played together, cried and laughed together. But the rule could not be broken. It was the night before their 22nd birthday. The air was thick with fear. None of the sisters spoke, though each one secretly prepared. The ritual had to happen at midnight, at the ancient altar deep in the forest. Serena sharpened her knives, practicing her flame strikes. Lyra spent hours meditating near the river, her fingers freezing anything they touched. Iris gathered stones and herbs, whispering ancient chants to the earth. Arya stood on the cliff, letting the winds carry her up, high into the clouds. None of them wanted to die. None of them wanted to kill their sisters either. But the bloodline demanded it. At midnight, under a blood-red moon, the sisters stood at the altar. The forest was silent. The stones glowed with ancient power. The ritual began. A dark wind blew. The ground cracked open. Their powers awakened, stronger than ever before. At first, no one moved. Then Serena attacked, fire swirling in her hands, throwing a wave of heat toward Iris. But Iris raised a wall of stone just in time. Lyra sent a whip of water toward Arya, who vanished into a cyclone of air. The battle began in full. The forest screamed as the elements clashed. Trees burned. The ground split. Storms roared. Rivers dried up and reflooded in seconds. Each sister fought bravely, not just for power, but to stay alive. Serena was the first to fall. Iris crushed her in a sudden quake. Her flames died with her scream. Lyra cried, but used the moment to freeze Iris's feet to the ground. Then with a wave of her hand, she sent icy water through Iris's body. The Earth Witch gasped, turned pale, and crumbled. Now only 2 remained, Lyra and Arya. They stared at each other, tired, wounded, but burning with magic. They had once braided each other's hair, shared secrets, and now, only one could live. They circled each other in the mist. I don't want to kill you, Arya whispered. Then don't, Lyra said. But the magic around them had already chosen. A final clash was coming. Lyra tried to freeze the air. Arya sent a storm toward her. The winds howled, water splashed, and everything went white. When the mist cleared, only one sister stood, barefoot, eyes glowing with power. Arya. The forest was quiet. The ritual was complete. Arya had won. Her body shimmered. She now held all 4 elements inside her: fire, water, earth, and air. She cried for her sisters, but the magic inside her felt good. Powerful, addictive. She returned to the family mansion, where her parents waited. They smiled, proud. You have done well, her father said. You are now the heir. The strongest witch of our bloodline. Arya nodded, but something didn't feel right. Her body was too warm. Her fingers crackled with fire even when she tried to rest. Her breath could freeze the mirror. Her feet sank into the ground. Her heartbeat made the air around her spin. She wasn't just powerful. She was breaking. However, Arya survived. She didn't die the night the mansion burned. The magic inside her exploded. But instead of killing her, it tore her powers apart, leaving only one behind. Air. She was no longer the strongest witch. She was just a girl with wind in her veins, and a heart full of pain. She wandered for weeks, alone and broken, until she met Kylam, a kind, powerful wizard who lived in the mountains. He healed her wounds, calmed her nightmares, and soon, they fell in love. They married under a silver moon, far from the cursed forest. For a while, Arya believed the curse was gone. Her sisters were at peace, her powers had quieted, and the darkness was behind her. But fate had other plans. A year after their wedding, Arya gave birth, not to one child, but four. Four beautiful children, born on the same night, exactly 1 minute apart. Fira, with red eyes and hot skin, could light fires with her breath. Marin, with blue veins and cold hands, could control water even as a baby. Tara, strong and silent, broke stones with her fingers. Era, gentle like her mother, floated above the ground before she could walk. Each child had one element, just like Arya and her sisters. Arya froze in fear. The curse had returned. She searched every old book, every lost scroll, every graveyard whisper, and the truth shattered her once again. The bloodline never dies, it only waits. When four are born of one, the ritual of merging shall begin again, and only one shall survive. Years passed. The children grew up strong, wild, and powerful. They laughed together, trained together, and loved each other, just like Arya and her sisters once did. But on their 22nd birthday, the air in the mountains grew still. The ground rumbled, rivers froze, flames danced without fire. The curse was awake. Arya fell to her knees. She had survived once. She had escaped death. But now, her own children were trapped in the same cruel fate. She begged the gods. She pleaded with ancient spirits. But the curse had no ears. It only had rules. The four children would be forced to fight. Only one would live. Only one would carry the powers of the others. And the curse would continue. On the night of their birthday, Arya stood outside the ritual altar, tears in her eyes, wine circling her like a ghost. Inside, her children faced each other, just like she once did. And as the door closed behind them, the wind whispered her name. Arya. She looked up, her heart heavy. It never ends. The curse was not broken. It had only changed form. And this time, it wore the faces of her children.
If you like this video, subscribe our channel.